We are here.
Turn up Thursday. Let's get it. Pre-weekend.
It is definitely the pre-weekend. Happy weekend, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy pre-weekend. Happy if you're having a long weekend. Wherever you are in the world, we hope you are having a good night and welcome to the show. How was your week been? And more importantly, how was your Valentine's Day? Because last week you weren't able to tell me nothing about what you were doing, and now you can. How was your Valentine's Day?
So the week is going well, right? The weather's nice.
Love
Got those
that for you.
early. It's about 74 degrees today. It was 73 yesterday. So it's pretty good. But next week's going to drop down a little bit. Now, as far as last week, Valentine's Day, it was very interesting. It didn't go as I would thought it would go as planned, right?
Do tell. The people are listening.
Yeah, I'll give a little bit, not a lot, but just a little bit. But someone believed that I intentionally started an argument because I didn't have nothing planned or scheduled or XYZ. Here's my thing, right? Go my heart hurts for what. Now, granted, I know the day was. I already had something planned. Now, do I gotta tell you? No, because I like surprises. Can I surprise you? Can I say, hey, get dressed? Where we going? Get dressed. We gonna go, right? But overall, I like Valentine's Day. I salute to everybody celebrating XYZ. But one thing you will not do, at least dealing with twins or Dwayne, whatever it may be, whatever work fits your boat. You will not dictate my love. That's 365 65 days in a year, right?
Yes,
You will not
sir.
you will not detect you not will put an emphasis on one day just because the world is doing it on one day, right?
Correct.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to take it to the extreme. I know what today is. I have some plan, but because I didn't move the way you want me to move, it don't work that way. So that's kind of like the pre-emphasis of the tile today, which we'll get a little bit into it. So I'll stop right there because I don't want to say too much because we'll talk more about it during the topic. But go ahead.
I love it. And good evening, Jeff. Thank you for joining. Jeff, what did you do with your wife for Valentine's Day? I want to know what the married people were doing. My Valentine's Day was actually very good. And I am not a Valentine's person, to be honest, because I agree with you. I don't feel as if I should be focused on this one day of the year when someone is showing up for me and showing out for me every other day as well. And so it happened to be also All Star Weekend. And if you know me well, I'm a huge ball fan. And so I was in Detroit for the weekend. And he treated me really well. We had a wonderful time. We just did very like low key stuff. He kind of drove me around the city and showed me different parts of Detroit, which was lovely. We went out. We went to the Detroit Museum of Arts, which was amazing. We actually went there twice because there was so much to see. We watched All Star Game together. We went and did a little dancing. He took me to church, and I met his parents. So yes, all in all, it was a very, very good weekend. And so salute to him for showing me a wonderful time. I wasn't expecting to meet his parents. I knew we were going to church. I didn't expect his parents to be there. And as soon as I went, I was like, okay, his parents are here. But yes, so good
Hey,
time.
he's doing the right thing. This FYI, anytime a man introduce a lady to his parents, it's serious.
And I
Because
said parents, like he has two. Like then just introduce me to his mommy.
now, not get it from mom and dad. And trust me, I understand.
Correct.
'Cause I dated, talked to, whatever you want to call it. And not every woman I messed with met the mom dudes. My dad passed away, so call me my dad. Dad's dead. But didn't meet mom. So if you met my mom, you was in a good place. You ready? You was really, really in a good place. But anyway,
Yeah. So Jeff said, so no patty patty hoo-ha for you?
no, not that day, not that night. No, unfortunately, it wasn't. It was nothing. No,
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear you did that. For those who are new to the show, Patty Patty Woo-ha is vajayjay, pum pum, the other P words that we won't use on the show. But that is unfortunate. Ladies, I do have to say, we need to stop putting emphasis on particularly Valentine's Day. I will tell you, I'm not someone who consumes. So I am not, um, I don't care about gifts. Gifts is not my love language. Like my love language is quality time and words of affirmation. So acts of service are great and so are gifts, but that's just not the way I want to be loved. And so if gift giving and acts of service are your thing, I completely understand. With that said, to put a lot of pressure on someone to make one day special when everybody else is making that day special, like I told him, I was like, I don't want to go out like when everybody else is out. Like we went out during the day, we had like brunch, we went to the museum, we came home, we watched basketball, and then we didn't go out till much later in the evening. We had some food and then we went because I was like, everybody's having dinner at like 6, 7 o'clock. I don't want to be competing with other couples. I don't want to be dealing with all that. I don't want to be in any of that. And to me, if a man shows up for you, that's love.
Message.
That's care. That's attention. If he listens to you, and we can talk. I know I'm a talker. So any man who dates me, I'm just like, I am long-winded. Okay, I have the show for a reason. And if a man listens to me and does not interrupt me, that's care and affection and attention. Okay? Because to me, that's quality time. So we need to stop going into these Hallmark narratives, not understanding that this is just a consumer holiday. It has nothing to do with love. If he doesn't show up for you on your birthday, come to me. Now we're having a different conversation because my birthday is like the most important day of the year for me. So if a man doesn't show up for you on your birthday, that's one thing. But just because he shows you, gives you chocolate candies and roses on Valentine's Day doesn't mean he loves you. He could have given chocolate roses and to somebody else. Three other women. That don't mean nothing. Was he there for you? Did you wake up beside him? Did you go to sleep beside him? Did he
Yeah.
show you that he cared? Did he ask you about your day? Does he care that you ate? Like those are signs of love, not because he bought you or did not buy you a gift.
Okay. All right.
That's just me.
Mm.
That's
So
all I got.
that being, as you see the title, ladies and gentlemen. So based on that scenario that happened, conversation had to happen. And of course, little debate, little argument, whatever you want to call it. We had the conversations. And somewhere in these conversations, I was told that me, twins, I hate black women. I'm like, what? How? Why? How can you formulate that thought process? Please explain. Because first off, my ex-wife I was married with, she's Jamaican black, so 14 years. The lady I'm talking to now, we've known for each other over 20 something years, whatever, but she's black as well. She's actually Haitian black. So once again, I like island women or foreign women, but they still black women, right? I don't discriminate against no women. I like all my ladies out there. But if I'm the ones that I have taken serious with, relationship wise, XYZ, they always been my African black chocolate queens. So with that being said, we had a conversation and it was saying that, well, on your shows, you're always talking about black women and this and that and this. See,
On this show with the black co-host, the woman. Okay, go on. Continue. Continue.
that's exactly what I said. I said, well, what show was that? Please tell me the name of the episode. I mean, they're all listed. I mean, you got 3 or 4. I got what, 3 seasons with you?
Yeah, three or
Got
four. Yeah, yeah. When
yeah,
season 9, I think you started to season 6.
yeah, we can go back to even my show, the Chop Team, and go that. Let's have this conversation. So where? Tell me, screenshot it. Show me where I say. Now, well, you only talk about black women. I said no. We talk about the black family. We talk about black love because that's why I'm black.
Correct.
I can't speak on another culture because I'm not marrying and I'm not dealing with that. And actually, what it comes down to is that when we have this conversation, it's just that. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, I don't speak in absolute. Gotta say that again. I do not speak in absolute. So I'm not saying all, I'm just saying most. So with that being said, that I think the most problem is that when it comes to men and women in relationship problem and where they're disconnected is that there's nobody holding the woman accountable, right? We always want to go back and say, well, who holds the man accountable? So I'm like, we understand that, but this conversation that we've been having, that me and you've been having, is for the mature adults. We're not talking about
Correct.
young kids. So if you think that's what it is, then me and you have a true disconnect. You're not really tapped in what I'm talking about. You're not tapped in where I want to be. You're not tapped in where I thought where the relationship was going to go. Right? If that makes sense. To say that I hate black women, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Well, you be online, you say this and say that. When? Please show the evidence. Because I need that. And I've been on the show with you, like I said, 3 seasons. I mean, Toshiba, has there been time on any of the shows that you saw on your show or even on a platform before your show that I was out here talking bad or saying how I hate black women and fellas get your passports and passport bros or go get you a what's exotic woman. I'm just saying, like we're
Never, never. So let me, first of all, I am actually flabbergasted. I'm going to pause here for a second. Jeff asked a question. Yes, on Instagram, we do. Jeffy's asking if we have traction on any other platform. I am on Instagram. I actually am on Instagram Live right now. We have um, a bit more traction. I'm not on Tickety Talk and I don't post anything on Facebook. So it's YouTube and Instagram only for the show. And I have a plan together. We are going to get better and better over the next few months to a year. I'm working on some marketing digital things. Like we're going to be a bigger family soon. So but let me actually start by saying when I started this show back in 2021, it was always to change the conversation around Black relationships. It was because I saw that in the landscape of shows talking about Black relationships, there was always a divide. And then this was also at the height of Kevin Samuels and Kendra G, and there was this very divide. And at the time when I started the show, for anybody who's new here, I was with my ex-fiance who is American. I am Jamaican, grew up in Toronto, Canada. He's American, and he would tell me stories about these just awful back and forth things that were happening. And I actually didn't believe him. I was like, these experiences are not true. It can't be like this. Anyhow, when I started the show, it's because I wanted to debunk some of these controversial things that were being said about Black relationships as a whole, not just Black American relationships, but Black relationships as a whole. And one of it was to have honest discussions with each other, holding each other accountable for the choices that we make. That is actually why, because I wanted to change the conversation around Black relationships. And Twins was one of the first regular viewers we had back in 2021. And I will say, never in the history of doing the show with you or you participating when I did the show with my ex fiance would I ever say you have said anything indicative of you hating Black women. And it's funny, when you brought this topic up, I almost knew exactly what it was going to be because my ex fiance got the same accusation. He was online commenting on something. He said something that somebody took offense to, and their retort to him was like, you look like you hate Black women. And he showed it to me, and he literally responded and was like, I wish you could actually meet my fiance because she's probably one of the blackest Black women that you will ever meet. So this idea that I hate Black women because I've said something to hold you accountable or disagree with the stance that you have says more about you than it says about me.
and I think that's kind of you hit on top of that right there. I think the problem is that they want the man to be silenced, right? They don't want men to have a voice on what things that most men, not absolutely not all, but most men deal with when it comes to relationship with their lady, right? And once again, we're speaking on black love, so yes, we're gonna refer back to black women, but not
Correct.
but not just directly to them. We're not never on a show have we said that the downfall of the community is the black
The
woman.
black woman.
Like, come on now, because that's the energy I got when I was told that. I said, "Wow, how you come to that conclusion?" But anyway, but yes, is it just
Marsha?
so it really come down to it's just that when men say certain things that they don't want to be put out in the world. Like, for example, I'll give you an example, like, the happy wife, happy life.
Stupid. Sorry. That
I
is
get it.
stupid.
I get
Stupidest
it.
thing I've ever
But
heard.
that has to be the most thing
Stupidest thing I've
you've
ever
done
heard.
in your life. You sacrifice your happiness to make sure she's happy, right? Now, granted, we want our woman to be happy, but if we're always sacrifice ourselves for a woman, what's that doing to the man's mental and all that behind the scene, right? What is she doing to make sure her husband's happy or her boyfriend happy, whatever it may be? I think it has to be both ways. This can't be double standard or single standard, I mean, or whatever you want to call it.
That no, that is a very single-minded, single standard. It's all about me, and it's a very narcissistic approach to marriage, which a lot of us are taught to be. We're taught to be self-absorbed and be about ourselves, right? But if you're new here, the reason this show is called "Fuck Your Feelings" is that is what my ex-fiance told me in a conversation. So picture this. I'm going to take you back to 2021. I am 5'5". Okay. My ex fiance is 6'9". We were having a discussion. I don't remember what it is, but I said something and he looked down at me. And again, 5'5". So he's a foot and 4 inches taller than me and said, "Fuck your feeling." And I clutched my invisible person. I looked around the house and I was like, my feelings? Everybody cares about my feelings. And after I had a moment that was dramatic, I said, "You know what? You're right." And so let me tell you what the premise of "fuck your feelings" means. It means that when you are in a discussion with your partner, you do not get to invalidate what they're saying because you do not like what they had to say, and so now you're in your feelings. And so let's consider the discussion. Toshiba, you know, you did something a moment ago that I don't like. And it made me feel a certain way. And I think we need to really have a discussion about this. And then I say, what did I do? How did it make you feel? So now you're telling me something and trying to make me feel bad? I didn't even let you finish. I didn't let you do anything. I then brought it back about me. You're trying to address something to me to course correct, right? Because relationships are about course correcting. If I don't know what I'm doing incorrectly, how do I not do that thing, right? You have to bring it to my attention. But what happens is when we are in a society that, let's be serious, I understand the idea of people bring up these new fancy words of misogyny, which is actually
Oh,
not real, and we live in a patriarchal society and all of this stuff. Get it? Wonderful. You guys took a couple of feminism classes, and now you want to throw out some words without understanding the meaning. I digress. However, at the end of the day, I will tell you as a woman that the world bows to my feet. The world gives me what I want. As a woman, I'm not talking about black, white, Asian, Latina. I'm not talking about, I'm just speaking as a woman. The world caters to women. It caters to our feelings. It caters to our thoughts. It caters to us. It's not what people want to hear. Feminism is telling us different. Feminism is a joke. It wasn't even meant for Black women. We couldn't even afford to burn bras when they were burning bras. Let's just be clear about what it is. Let's just be serious. Feminism is a crock of shit. It really is. It was supposed to be about choice, and we've made it something that it's not. It is not about equality. It was never about equality. It was about choice. was about choice. It was about options. And now we've taken it and turned it into something completely different. And we have become so self absorbed that we are not even considering the mental health of the men that we say that we want to protect and provide for us. But how can they protect and provide for us when we are intentionally, knowingly beating them down, even if it's with just our words? I need a moment. Continue.
Well, that is huge right there, and I think that's one thing people fail to understand, that sometimes it's funny. As you grow up, they say sticks and stones will hurt my bones, but names will never hurt.
Lies again.
That's a lie, because people can
Wor-
literally tear
Words.
you down without touching you by physical,
Correct.
by telling you, saying things. The tongue. So if you're in scripture, or if you're in any religion, the tongue is definitely has power, right? And the talking matter. We ain't talking about the other way yet. We talking about in the talking matter. You can tell somebody about talking about them. But something you said earlier today as well is, tonight, is even one with Kevin Samuel, right? When he was alive, and a lot of black women were mad at him or claimed that he hated black women as well, because the conversation. It seems like when a man tries to be direct, not pandering to women, then it comes off that, oh, you must don't like black women. But it's cool when you have people like Derrick Jackson who lying to you just so he can make a sale. He
And
cheats on
cheat on his wife and his
the record,
and ruins his family.
ruin his family, but that's celebrating. That's cool. But a guy who's telling, in the overall message that Kevin Samuels pushing out, he was trying to get black couples, black women, black men together to have a foundation in the community and build families up. That's all he was trying to do. But he had to have the conversation to understand where was the disconnect at. And of course, the disconnect was women were reaching to the stars, which is nothing wrong with that, right? You can want a man who's 6 feet, six this and six that, and make six figures and all that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But the thing is this, do you qualify for that man? And that's the problem right there, to qualify, because they all feel entitled. They feel they can be 40 years old, three different baby daddies or two different baby daddies, out of shape, but still deserve the man who's make all this money and think he's going to be faithful to you only. What's come on now. And we understand it's once again, it's not absolute. We know that somebody who have a high body count could be happily married, Sierra. But that's a one-off. That's a one-off.
Sierra.
That's a one-off.
No, I can't let you do that to Sarah. She does
And
not have a high body count.
CC, we see nothing wrong with her. But the point I'm trying to make is that
That's Sierra.
Kevin Samuel, was having that conversation, just being a direct with women, and that's it. And it's like, you can't talk to women nowadays and tell them, hey, you shouldn't do this. Who are you to tell me? And here's the problem, Eliza. This is what happens when you don't have the father figure in the household growing up as you mature into a girl, to a young lady, to a woman. When you don't understand how men think, because only a man only a father who's raising a daughter can really teach a girl about life. A lot of these women have experienced life and situations without having a father figure. They might have a father, but he was never around, but they didn't have that guidance. So then they had bumps and bruises through life and X, Y, Z. And then when they get to a certain point where they're ready to focus and do X, Y, Z, sometimes you can't get what you want, versus where you were maybe 10, 20 years ago when you had no kids, X, Y, Z, you could have got what you wanted. Or then now you want a man, and he's holding you accountable for certain things, and you feel like, well, it doesn't matter. I did this, I that. No, it don't work that way. I know a lot
Here's
of back. I throw a lot on the table there, but it's all there. But the thing is, if no one can tell you anything, who can? And outside your boss.
uh, he, let's not even go there.
I'm sorry.
Um,
Go ahead.
here here's the advice I would give to people in relationships. Because this is something I used to oversee a staff of 13. And I would give them all the same message. And I will tell you, if you were to line them all up, this little piece of advice I gave them changed a lot of things with their jobs. And the advice I'm going to give to you tonight is listen to understand, not to respond. And the only way you actually do that is to see name of show. Fuck your feelings. It is very difficult, and I will tell you, even as a woman, I think I've told you guys on the show, like I dated a guy who was always caught up in his feelings, and I could not. I don't have the patience, the time, the tolerance for all of it. I wouldn't even get a word out before he starts because something, I said triggered his feelings. I mean, he was raised by his mom, so I mean that should say a lot. But that's why I no longer will date men who don't have both parents in their life. It's just too much for me. Um, but that will change a lot of things. We're not always going to like what our partners say
Facts.
at all. At all. You're going to have moments, you're going to have, Jamaicans have a saying that teeth and tongue will meet, which essentially means that you've probably heard it when you were married to a Jamaican, right? Teeth and tongue will meet, which means that you're going to get into disagreement. And the moment you add your feelings and all of the mix up of your feelings and you put it all in there, it becomes convoluted. If you can remove your feelings, and I know it can be difficult, I do not sit here and pretend to have all the answers, and I do not sit here to pretend I do not have feelings. But what I do have for my partner is respect.
Just a little bit. Hmm. Sorry.
I respect them enough to know that they would not be doing or saying something intentionally to hurt or harm me. And therefore, if it is that they're providing me a level of critique, or we are in the midst of a disagreement because we are different people, right? Especially for me, I generally date different countries, different cultures. So you've got all of these differences, and now you're trying to come together as one. But if the basis of your relationship doesn't have to do with respect, fuck love. I need you. Like you'll love me eventually. I'm great. It's hard not to love me, but you can love me and not respect me, and I can love you and not respect you. And there's a lot of relationships that don't have that. But if the basis of your relationship, one of the pillars is respect in that relationship, you will go into a conversation with your partner taking your feelings aside and giving them the space and the respect to be able to convey their thoughts, their emotions, or whatever else is going on with them without interrupting and interjecting your own feelings. And I'm telling you guys, the moment you learn to do that, and it's not easy. It's not the easiest thing to learn to do, but it's something that you can practice. And again, if the basis of your relationship is respect, you're consistently going to want to hear that person out, understand where they're coming from, and if you have to course correct or you know that you have to take that information back and make some changes for dot 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 the betterment of your relationship, then you will do that. Now, if you're with someone that you love and it's sweet and it's wonderful, it's all the pheromones and there's no respect, just pack it up, pack it up, pack it in, let me begin. Okay, like just go, because that's not going anywhere. And I'm going to tell you, I am way too old. I'm going to tell you, I'm way too tired. I am 46 years old. I got more years behind me than ahead of me. And what I'm not going to do is sit up every day and argue and fuss and fight with any human being when I can sit and be at peace by myself.
Hold on. Hold on for a minute right there. 44 years old.
That-
I got more time, like she said before. Not going forward fast. I'm not gonna have another 44 years. I'm sorry, just don't work that way. If you do a little research, most black men, we don't live that long. We do. The man usually die first anyway. Stress, work, all that stuff, whatever it may be. But the point I'm trying to make is this: At this age of 44, I'm okay with being alone. I promise you. And when I say alone, I'm not going to die alone. Now, I may not die married, but I won't be alone. So it's a difference there, right? It's a big difference. I'm always going to have
He's gonna have hoes, aka he'll have hoes.
be nice. That's want to be cheeky with it. You know what I'm saying? Here you go. Sprinkle it in. I wouldn't say friends, you know? But I would like to have that one person, right? That we can grow old together. But once again, if I have a different tolerance than I did when I was in my early 20s. At 44 years old, there's a lot of shit I'm not going to entertain no more. I just don't. So I might come off cold. It's not because I am. It's just because I'm 44. I'm sorry. It's not old. I'm not saying I'm about to be done, but I'm 44, and I'm not going to entertain. I was married for 14 years. I'm not going to do the same thing I did the first 14 years in the marriage with somebody brand new. If I'm already seeing things that it's kind of looking like how I was before, oh, I'm gonna slide back and like, I'm not doing this. Or I'm gonna be vocal with it. And unfortunately, when me being vocal with it, it might upset you because the old me would have said nothing because I want a happy wife, happy life, happy girl, whatever it may be. So I might not said nothing back in the day, but now, based on my experience, I'm gonna say things. It ain't got nothing to do about you're just bitter and upset how you left. No, I learned from what I went through, the goods and the bad. Just like if you get fired or you leave a job, you go to a new job, you won't do the same dumb stuff you did before because you didn't know in a new job, right? If you was always late in your first job, guess what you're not gonna do in your second job? Be on time.
That
So
part.
so are you better because you got fired, or you learn from what you did, the previous mistake? This time I'm gonna come on time. I may not do a good job, but I'll be there on time though. So
Here,
it's a thing with come relationships. You learn and you move forward. Go ahead.
no, here's the thing about it. Like I have said it over and over and again. My next husband is also gonna have been divorced. Like my next husband is a divorced man, right? I'm not marrying a never married man. I am a divorced woman. Not my next husband is gonna be a divorced man who was in a long-term relationship who
Hold on,
actually misses marriage.
hold on. I'm gonna jump in there real quick. The person is divorced has to be in a long marriage. You can't be married
Long marriage.
because it takes time. So yes, divorce,
I'm
but
gonna give it like
long.
7+ years,
I'll give you
ten
that.
plus years, those types of years, right? Like and misses that marriage. Ladies, you're missing out on a good crop of men when you look at a divorced man's divorce as baggage. It is only baggage if he's unhealed. If he's still talking about his ex-wife is crap and she's no good and all women are not good and I'll never get married again because this, that, and the next thing. Okay, no, leave that divorced man alone. But luckily, the divorced men that I have encountered, they're healed. They've gone to therapy. To therapy, they can tell you. And ladies, you need to be worried when a man doesn't tell you how he feels and doesn't express when you have done something wrong. Because if you think we're good at ghosting, men are actually much better at it. Because they'll never talk to you again, like ever. Like, you'll just stop calling. Like, no explanation. We always want closure. As women, we want closure. We want to tell you why we don't like you and tell you all this because we have got to tell you what's going on. Men don't want it. When they don't care about you, they don't eat. Your existence is no more. They will not speak to you. They will not talk to you. They will not check on you. That's what you need to be worried about. And what I'm always, ladies, confused about, I'm going to tell you as a woman, we say a lot of shit we don't mean. Okay? Let me tell you something. Does this sound familiar? I'm looking for a man who's going to be my best friend.
Listen, when anytime I hear a guy married, single, whatever, and he says, "Oh, my wife is my best friend," no, that's not a good thing. That's never a good thing. She can be your friend, but not your best friend. Trust me. You cannot. You. It sounds good. I promise you, it sounds beautiful. My wife, my best friend. I can talk to her about anything and tell her everything. Don't do it, fellas. Just don't do it. Don't do it.
But that's every
Wait, group chat
if
later. Trust me.
I'm not in the group chat. But that is something that as women we say, I want to marry a man who is my best friend. What we need to add, except I don't want him to tell me the truth. I always want to be right in the relationship. I don't want him to say anything to hurt my feelings. I want him to do exactly what I want him to do, not what he wants to do. Like there are caveats to being. I don't have caveats to the women who are my best friends. My best friends can tell me when my shit stinks, my pee stinks, my mouth stinks, my body stinks. They can tell me when it all stinks. And you know what? You might be mad for a second, but you don't stop being best friends. You don't generally cuss them out. You don't do all of that. You don't tell them any of that because why? You expect your best friends to be the one who, outside of everyone else, the 8 point something billion people in this world who are always going to keep it real with you. Yet you want a husband who is going to protect, provide, be your best friend, but he can't tell you nothing?
Hold on, right there. Hold on. She just said something, ladies and gentlemen. You telling me you want me to die for you? You want me to the middle of the night, got a flat tire, I gotta get out of bed and drive to you. You call me saying, hey, this guy being disrespectful. You want me to pull up on him and don't know what's going on, but I'm on my way and risk my life for all that just so. But when I say something to you that I don't like, that's the problem. That's where we draw the line. Wow. Well, that's why. On to the next one. Fellas, once you understand that concept there, then you will choose wisely, you will pick wisely. You have better dialogue, better questions as far as the woman that you choose, that you want to be your forever. If she doesn't think that mindset that her goal is to make sure she protects her man at all times and don't put him in danger, she's a keeper, right? Now, granted, just know if you have a real man, you call him and say, babe, this guy, I'm coming on 1,000, right? But just be aware, don't be somewhere you shouldn't be. Example, you should not be at the club. You shouldn't be telling, if you're a wife or want to be a wife, you should never call your man saying, this man at the club grabbed my ass. My first question is, why are you there? Right? My wife shouldn't be there. Now, I'll give you a pass if you're out of the country, you go to a different country. That's different. You know what I mean? But I still don't want to do grabbing your ass, but you gotta know the crowd, you gotta know where you're at, but you can't come anyway. If you're like 10 hours away, okay, babe, I guess I'll get there. I don't know. You better call the police or something. But the point I'm trying to make is that I'm still on topic. Don't put your man in harm's way because we as men, we're constantly in protective mode 24/7. When you laying in bed, sleep, and you got your back close to the door, if somebody will start banging on the door, I in my head know what I'm gonna do. I got a pre-plan. You sitting there, life is la 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 la. I'm every time I hear a little noise, a light go off or something outside, I'm on alert. But you living your best life. But once again, if I say, hey, babe, I don't like when you're around your friends and you start getting loud. I could get loud. I'm enjoying myself. Whoa. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? How we go from 0 to 100? I'm trying to tell you, so we out in public, I don't like how it presents yourself because it makes you look a certain way. Because, side note, ladies, yes, black ladies, I'm talking to you and all ladies as well, especially my sisters, though. When y'all travel, y'all go somewhere, because these TV shows they show here in America, how Love and Hip Hop or Basketball Wives or whatever it may be, them shows, those women on TV, when they out in public, they act ratchet. When you're out, I want you to handle yourself a certain way because those people assume that that's how all black women act. But see, y'all got a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? You got a problem with think twins hate black women, but you have no problem with VH1, all these shows that's showing shows degrading black women 24/7. Like, make it make sense. Y'all sit there and watch these shows all day and be like, babe, watch this show, let me tell you. Oh, it's good show, it's good drama, right? Okay, it's entertainment to me, but I think it a little deeper. I'm like, yo, this is crazy because this is how they look at y'all black women. And it's true because I've talked to other people, women, men, other races. Like, yeah, we don't really like when black women come out, or because they be scared they're gonna have a fight. I'm like, that's not all. That's not all of our women. It's just those TV show, but that's all they know. Especially as some people, a lot of Caucasians, they don't have a lot of black friends. They don't know how they really act, so they only assume how they look based on these TV shows. But you don't think about that. You think, oh, I pay my money, go to Cancun, I'm having a good time, unlimited drinks, cool.
Wow.
But honestly, that's embarrassing. If I see girls do that, I go the other way. I don't care how fine, cute you look. I'm like, I don't want to be around that. That's too much energy. I'm trying to be chill. I ain't trying to be on a cruise somewhere and get jailed or pulled to the side because I'm happy to be next to y'all. But I'm not with y'all because I'm black. Oh, take them all. Nah, I ain't with them girls. But anyway, I digress.
I'm gonna get my neck cut off for this one, but I'm gonna tell you something. It's not all black women. I'll be honest, guy. It's black American women. Y'all gonna come for my neck, and I really don't give a shit because the moment I say that I'm Canadian, everybody's attitude changes. And I'm like, I was in Tulum last year, even just negotiating a taxi ride, and he said something to me about American, blah blah blah, and I was like, I'm not American. I live in Canada. I'm from Jamaica. He's like, oh no, not American, not American. His entire attitude changed towards me. There are people who are now actually, I'm in a travel group, and they're actually putting Canadian flags on their luggage to say to people that they are not American. Come for my neck all you want. Try it and see. People are nice. Say you're from Canada. People are much nicer to you as a black person overall. But you said something that is so simple, and I want women to really listen. And sometimes the subtlest, simplest things are the things we take for granted. So let's think about when we're sleeping. I slept for the first time at the guy I'm dating's house because he lives in Detroit. I live here in Toronto. And when I got to his house and we were in the room and I'm putting my stuff away, first of all, he was so sweet. He like cleared a closet for me. It was quite cute. He was like, babe, you can have this closet. It was a cute moment. However, when it came to sleeping, it was very obvious where I was going to sleep and where he was going to sleep. He was going to sleep on the side that was closest to the door. I knew that. I automatically knew that. Like I put my stuff on the side that was furthest from the door. Like I had all of my stuff there because having been married, having been in relationships, having had a dad growing up, that subtle thing was he's going to protect me. We've only been dating for like 2 months, but I already knew that this man was going to protect me by sleeping closest to the door. Had that man turned around and said, "Oh no, you're going to sleep here," that would have been first and last time. That I won't lie, that would have been it for me. Because I'd be like, "Oh, this man don't give two shits about me. He's gonna let me be by the door in case a burglar comes in. I'm the first one they're gonna get. What happened to protection and provision?" He said that man never has to say he loves me, but the fact that he knew well enough that he would sleep on the side closest to the door told me everything I needed to know. And these are the little. So when we're talking about men hate black women, or twin specifically hates black women, or this man doesn't, we're looking for these grand gestures, not understand that the man moving you on the inside of the door, inside of the road, is a gesture of love.
Facts.
Opening the door for you, opening the thing. I stand at a door and I wait for, and he opens it. Those are all gestures. Everything doesn't have to be a grand gesture. And because a man disagrees with your viewpoint or has a different viewpoint, or God forbid, expresses that he has a disdain or dislike for the way you act, the way you speak, because he is actually looking out for you, that is not hate. In actuality, that's love. The people who hate you are the ones who continually watch you act a damn fool and say nothing at all.
AKA your girlfriends.
That part.
No accountability. That's it right there. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. I mean, every day there's things being done that's you may
Overlooked. Overlooked.
you don't know. Yeah. Like you said, walking on the inside, make sure you're the inside of me when you're walking. It seems subtle, but If a car jumps the curb, who's gonna get hit? Me, not you. I don't want to get hit, but hey, I'd rather me get hit than you get hit. Or if you get hit and I gotta go home to your family or to your child, and like your mom's not here anymore. I'm like, where were you at? Oh, I was right there, but the car, I was on the inside. Like that's something you don't want to ever go back and tell no one's family. As a man, you never want to go back and tell no one's mother or father or whatever that their daughters did because you didn't protect them, because that's your job as a man to protect. I mean, there's times where I gotta get up early. I get up 4 o'clock in the morning or sometimes earlier, and but I know she might went out. I'll make sure I'm up just to make sure she makes it in time. You know, I'm checking my phone throughout the night, make sure okay, I made it here. Cool. I'm way home. Boom, should be here around this time. Cool. That's love without me even telling you that I love you. It's the small things. It's the small things. But once again, or even leaving the porch light on. So when you come in the house, it's bright. You can see what's going on. You walk in the dark, could be somebody in the dark, could be a raccoon. I don't know, whatever out there. Y'all scare a little bug. You see a little gnat. Oh my God, it's a bug. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's not, but you're talking about. Listen, I would give you a funny example. So I am super affectionate. Like if you're dating me and I care about you, I am like obsessively like affectionate, hand holding, the whole thing. So when we were sleeping at night this weekend, this poor man, I run very hot. Okay, he's been divorced now for almost 2 years, so he hasn't shared a bed regularly with a woman on a regular basis. He was like, babe, you're actually here for 3 nights and 4 days. Usually after one night a woman is gone. I was like, look at me coming in from Canada importing my ass. Don't let them catch you now. But for two of those nights, I wrapped myself around the poor man, and he was sweating. He said, Dave, it felt like it was 72 degrees Celsius. You wrapped your entire body around me, and I am dying. And I felt so bad that he endured it for 2 nights that the last night I actually slept on the other side so he could actually have a proper sleep because I knew we were getting up early in the morning to the point where he's like, were you mad at me? I was like, no, I was actually, because of the fact that I had made you so uncomfortable and you slept in it, I wanted to make you comfortable, even if it made me uncomfortable. I didn't like sleeping like that, but he had endured being uncomfortable with me for 2 nights, me wrapping my whole thick thigh around him, that I was like, you know what, let me give this poor man a break. And I appreciated that because his instinct could have been like, honestly, get off me. Like, I need to be cool. Like, why? Like, go over here. But he didn't. He slept through being uncomfortable to
We do.
make me comfortable and to make me happy because he knows that my love, like, it's part of my love language. We need to pay attention to that. So instead of taking moments, and honestly, now I'm curious. I don't know how much of the story you want to tell. What precipitated this woman saying you hate black women? Can you give us a? Because I now need to know because I cannot believe that my good show, my good show that I created to change the conversation around black relationships was used as fuel to a fire to tell you that you hate black women. Give me
Ah,
something.
it's kind of hard because when people are arguing, you go back and forth all day, and it's like sometimes people just say anything just to say like, oh, well, you hate black women because the shows that you talk about women and it like, but that makes no sense. You're black. Like, hold on, explain that to me. So I really don't have a reason of why that was said. People say things, but then I challenge you on it to explain. Okay, well, break it down to me. Well, show me. Tell me when. Like I'm the type of person. You say something about me. Okay, stop before you go all these other things. Where? We so I don't have an exact reason how we got there, but I'll tell you this. Like another thing was said. Oh, I got mom issues. I'm like, whoa, let's not move the goalposts. Explain that to me. How we have mom issues? Let's talk. Let's break it down. And then once I explained it and broke it down to her, it's like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, daddy issue. I do. Okay, well, let's break it down. And we broke it down. And when people don't got nothing to say, they just throw things out. I don't think I'm the smartest person in the world, but I'm very logical. And if you say something to me, make it make sense. Like I don't see. My thing is this. Here's one thing. Dating tip. Sorry, I'm going right to it.
Go right into it. Go
Dating
into
tip.
it. Go into
Ladies, be careful for what you say when you're upset.
it. Mhm.
You can say sorry, XYZ. It doesn't matter because it's still there on repeat. The fact that you utter those words, I can't unheard or unhear what you said when you was upset. That's the difference between men and women. That absolute. I say this because most men, we know stories about our woman that might have been like something hurtful that happened to them, right? But when we get in a heated argument, whatever it may be, a man who's mentally strong, mentally, he knows not to throw that in your face because that will just hurt your feelings. Even though you may say the craziest thing in the world to me, XYZ, as a man, I will not say that. Right? Even though you could be saying XYZ, I'm this, your kid, this, whatever.
Right.
I'm not gonna say it. But on the flip hand, when y'all get upset, y'all go right to that one thing we told you, like, oh yeah, well, that's why this happened to you. I'm like, wow, that's where we going with it. We went from not washing dishes, we talking about this happened to me over here. How's that even correlate? I said, okay, so you got that in your ammo for repertoire. But so the point I'm trying to make is that even though you may say sorry, you may say forgive you, but he didn't forget. So don't be saying shit out your mouth because you're mad. Don't be saying anything out your mouth because you want to, oh, I said that to him. And now you think months later, oh, we're good. You might be good, but I kind of pull back. Little piece of a man pulls back every time. And it gets to the
Mm.
point after so much pulling back, he ain't got nothing to pull back no more. One day he's going to be boop, gone. And you're like, I don't know what happened. We were just doing this, doing that, because we'll still do our part. We'll still live the life. We'll still play the part. But the piece of us that's gone is gone. You can't get that back. So once again, and I'm telling my daughter this too, because I talk to her all the time. Be careful what you say to a man. I don't care how upset, mad you are. Be careful what you say because he won't forget it. May forgive you, but won't forget. All right, I'm done.
It's funny. Jamaicans have a saying, "Sorry can't save soldier, Larry." Sorry means nothing. It's often when people say sorry to me, I'm like, how about you not do something that you'll be sorry for later, right? Like, because in the midst of doing it, you recognize that it's wrong, and instead of pulling back and stopping it, you finish out the clip, and then you want to say sorry. Well, I'm already wounded. I'm already wounded from what you said. I'm already wounded by what you've done. And so saying sorry doesn't take it back. And the fact that you're saying sorry means that you acknowledged it was wrong and you did it anyways.
That part.
So for me, my biggest thing is don't say sorry to me after, just don't
Don't
do
say it.
it.
Right.
Don't do it. But that goes back to what I was saying earlier. We have to be mindful of saying what we want when it's actually not what we want. If you are not in a position to be trusted with trade secrets, and those trade secrets are the things that your man shares with you when he's being vulnerable because he trusts you, and you take that man's vulnerability and you weaponize it because you're angry.
Mm.
And then if you ask what happened, you happened. That's what happened. You happened. This man, because we don't like it happening to us. I I would not want to share something vulnerable, near and dear to me, thinking that I'm in a moment with this person that I can trust, that respects me, who's loyal, who's all of those things. And in a moment, I upset them. Everything we've built goes away in that second. And listen, my daughter taught me something many, many years ago. And my daughter said something at 16 years old. I want you ladies who get, listen, because I used to be a hothead. I am 46 years old. I was not always this person. I was not this person in my 20s. But guess what? That's why relationships weren't working. Okay, that might be why I'm damn married and divorced. I mean, it was just cheating, but it could have been. Part of it was probably because of my attitude, right? And so I've had to grow. I've had to learn. But I remember at 16 years old, when my daughter started turned 16, and I started giving her a little bit more leeway in terms of a later curfew and things. And one of the things I always said to my daughter when she was leaving the house was, make good choices. That was the last words I wanted her to hear from me. Other than I love you, it was love you, have a great night, make good choices. And one day my daughter stopped and she looked at me. She looked me dead in the face and she said, Mommy, I know what lesson you're trying to give me, but I want you to understand. It took me 16 years to get here and build your trust. I am not going to make a decision in one night that's going to undo 16 years of trust. That is what my 16-year-old daughter said to me. And that moment changed my relationship with her because I thought, damn it, I have done a good job. So if a 16-year-old, okay, whose prefrontal cortex is not yet developed, can understand that one decision in one moment can undo everything you've built. Us grown women who've had children, who've had experiences, it should be very easy for us to understand that maybe in this moment is when I need to sit down and shut the fuck up. Because I may just say something that's going to undo everything I've worked with this man, and that's not what I want. So, what I used to tell my ex fiance is, I cuss you in my head, I filter through it, and then I tell you the thing that once I say it, it means that we're going to still have a relationship when this is done. Because ladies, not everything we think we have to say it. Because if men, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. If men really told us everything we thought they thought about us, we would crumble and cry and be in puddles. If you have ever sat in a room like a fly on the wall and listened to men talk, because I have, to the point where men have forgotten I was even in the room, and they're like, "Shit, my bad, Shiva's here." Okay, I'm like, "No, no, no." I'm like, "Shit." They done found out that I'm still sitting here because the way men talk when we are not in the room, if they were to be those men around us, we would crumble and cry. So you say this man hates black women, doesn't love women, doesn't want that. When each and every day they keep a lot of shit to themselves, that would what that all of us with the egos and the pretty privilege and everything that we run around with, that would crumble in a moment if a man really sat there and tell you what he feels. That is love. That is not hate. Being able to refrain from really telling you what he feels and filtering it through love, that is a superpower that many of us black women do not have. I'm just gonna keep it real, twins.
I don't have no problem with that. I mean, that's all facts what you're saying. I mean, just based on the topic, just like you just said. So you tell me that I don't like black women, right? So what do you think is next after that? So so okay, so why are we still talking then? Why am I still talking to you then?
Yeah,
So
that's a
who
weird one for me.
so who should I be talking to then? Oh no, you go to who you no. You said. So but anyway, so like you just said, how can we move forward now, right? Because
The question is, that's how I want to end the show before I give my dating tip. After a woman has said something, because I could not imagine looking at a man who has given his effort, time, affection, attention, finances, all of the caring, all of those things, looking him dead in his face in a moment of an argument and blanketing him with, like, to me, one of the two worst things you can accuse a black man of That is not true. It's hating black women and being gay.
Facts.
So now you've looked at him and done one of the two cardinal sins to a straight heterosexual black man who loves black women, who's raising black children,
I am.
and one of them going a young black woman
Hmm.
looking at that man and saying you basically you hate black women, which means you hate your child, you hate your ex-wife, you hate your mother, you hate your grandmother, you hate every single, because that is a quite a statement. Can you move past that?
Oh man, I don't know because all those run through my head, right? Right. It's the fact that you said that, and I just like I don't know. I don't know. Time will tell. Um, but what it does take a step back to where I thought where we were going. Now we're
Mm-hmm.
going backwards now. So is that moving forward and moving the relationship forward and being successful with it? Now I'm stepping back
Mm.
because one, it shows me that when you're mad, you can say whatever you want in your mouth. Two, you don't think what you're saying because you didn't think about that statement. So three, I don't know how I'm supposed to move. I don't know what you think, but I'm not. My mind ain't mental as far as moving forward. I don't know yet. Time will tell. But I can't unhear it.
I can't unhear it.
Can't
It
unhear.
wasn't even said to me, and I can't unhear it. That is a
I can't.
huge statement to make.
So it doesn't matter how many sorries, how many backflips and chips you do. It doesn't take away what you said. Not saying my feelings hurt. Oh no, my feelings wasn't hurt. So let's be clear, ladies and gentlemen, was not hurt at all. But it's more disappointment. Like at 43 years old, that's what we're doing now. We're arguing like we're in our 20s. Like that's like I'll give you a pass who was young and dumb, but we're 43. We're adults. Well, I'm 44, but she's 43. But you know what I'm saying? Like, what we
Mm.
doing? Like we still doing this? Okay. So I just doing me at this point. I don't know. But yeah, that's where I'll leave it at right now. To be continued.
I mean, God bless you. I'm not sure if a man looked at me and said, "Your show perpetuates hate against black men, and you must hate black men." When all I've dated is black men, I have a black child, I had a black husband, but like it's just, I am not sure that I could get past that because, first of all, you don't know me.
And I said that. I said that. I know the camera's right here, but it's a TV screen. You look over here. I said that too. Like, oh, you don't know me then. Oh, you really don't know me. And that's nothing. Like, wow. So you don't know me. Mm.
That's what you're saying. So all of this time I've poured into us, right? And time again is the most valuable resource we have, ladies and gentlemen. It is free, but it is super valuable. And
Mm-hmm.
so all of this time, all this attention, all of this affection, everything I've shown with you, everything I've shared about you, you don't know me that if in a moment, because let's think most arguments probably don't last more than 10, 15 minutes.
Facts.
Okay. And
Facts.
there are 24 hours in the day. So you have ruined 23 hours and 45 minutes for 15 minutes to look at me and say all these months or years I spent. So you don't know me, which means you don't see me.
Mm.
And I think for me, that's what would hurt me is because you don't know me, you don't see me, and you're actually not paying attention to what it is that I'm doing. And if you're saying you want a future with me, you don't, because you're actually not paying attention to who I am as a person when I'm actually on a show that is pushing black love. It's just asking us to have appropriate conversations and to hold each other accountable while also holding yourself accountable, because only by doing so can we move the narrative, can we push it forward, can we get more black couplings, can we ensure that the black family is strong, only by having those conversations. And if you took that to say, I hate black women, oh no.
Look at you preaching tonight.
No, I'm saying like this hurts me because she used my show to say that. I was like, I put my heart and soul into the show, so to think that that's the message she's been getting,
Come on now.
that that is hurtful because it is the last thing I want attached to this show that I have poured so much into. And I've gotten a lot of flack and a lot of backlash for it. But if it even makes one difference for people to be having conversations, and we've been on this show and we've seen people talk to us, write to us, send us messages, come online, share their stories with us about how what we've said has changed them, and
Mm,
to think that someone near and dear to you who would I would should be applauding that took this platform to then use it against you to say you hate black women. I'm like, that hurts me because I'm like, that means you hate me.
come on now. But also to add to it too, it wasn't just that. It was that like so she said in her words, like it's guys like you who get online. So you put me in a group with
Oh,
everyone.
she called you a red pill.
Yeah, I'm like, oh,
She
so
red pilled you. Oh no.
them. I'm one of them, and you're one of them. Oh, then.
No, so I'm a red pill woman. I didn't even know if those exist. What in the world? What in the what? That's it. Good luck. Good luck with that. Good luck.
Yeah.
With that, I'm actually gonna go into my dating tip, ladies. It's not the big gestures that a man do that mattered. It's those tiny little things that he's doing that we often don't notice. That really matters. A man shows you through his actions and through his words how much he cares about you. And if you're looking for great, big, grand gestures, some of those will never come. And I have met men who have given me big, grand gestures who only wanted my pum pum. They didn't care about me, didn't care about my needs, my wants, my desires, nothing about me. They had the money to spend it. They did because they wanted one thing. And after they got that thing over and over, and when they were done with it, they were done with it. So we're out there looking at social media thinking that's the way to go because somebody else is online showing that that doesn't matter. Does he put you on the inside when you're walking down the street?
Mm.
Does he sleep on the side of the bed that if the burglar comes in, he's the first one that's going to get it? Does he take his time and quicken his step to open the door before you get there?
Come on now.
Does he take your hand when you guys are crossing the street and moves you to make sure that if anything is happening? Does he step outside and then calls for you because he's basically stopped traffic to make sure that you can walk? Does he take his jacket and put it over your shoulders because you said you were cold? Does he do those things? Does he ask you about your day and genuinely listen? Those are the things that matters. And stop looking at social media and stop looking to somebody you think who has this perfect relationship and really appreciate what you have in front of you. And to add to what Twins also said, words do hurt. And the moment you take a man's vulnerability and weaponize it, you have lost that man emotionally and mentally. He might still fuck you,
Facts.
but you have lost him. And when you were here, you're now here and he's way back over there because he's starting from the finish line. You think that the sorium, the kisses, and all of that thing makes nope. He's right back at the beginning because you're gonna have to re-earn that trust. And like my daughter said, it took you years to get there, and in one moment, you can undo everything that you've done.
Mm.
So that is my dating tip. First of all, thank you for sharing. Jay Nolita was like, "Who said this?" They're out there slandering our boy's name, saying he hates black women, which is not true. And then I guess I must hate them along with you, which means I hate myself. Because this show, just if you are new here, this show was started by me 4.5 years ago to change the conversation around black relationships because I wanted us to have real conversations, conversations that mattered, that would lead to strong pillars and strong foundation of a real black relationship in real black homes because our black babies deserve nothing less. These children that we're raising deserve to see strong Black men and strong Black women together. That is what they deserve. Whether you do it for the current generation or you do it for the next generation, right? Whatever you do it for, that is what the show was created for. It was not created to bash men or bash women. It was to bring us together. And it always will. And I'm going to repeat, fuck your feelings simply means not, and I'm going to repeat, not weaponizing your feelings when someone is expressing what you've done, said, or any other behavior that they want to course correct with you. You don't get to turn around and say, you're not allowed to say that to me because it hurts my feelings. You are to listen to understand and not to respond, which means you have to fuck your feelings. That is it. That is all. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Whatever you do, wherever you are, please be safe. Don't drink and drive. And if you're going to have sex, use a condom. I've never made that PSA, but we don't need any more babies out here on these streets that we don't want. Anyways, no one night stand babies, people. Have a good night. See you guys next week.